guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be a super casual video, hence the attire and hence the wet hair, but I'm kind of seizing the opportunity to come on and have a bit of a chat with you all, basically. So I've been doing a lot of kind of like updates and things recently, like I've done a general life update, like house update, pregnancy update, and all of those sorts of things, and I feel like the only kind of missing update to everything is a sofa update, basically. Some of you guys may remember that I think around maybe 4 or 5 months ago now, I uploaded like a toddler update, and kind of like expressed some concerns that we were having with like Soph's development and things like that. And I mentioned, I think in that video, that we were due to see a paediatrician a few days after I filmed it, and I said that I would kind of come back and update on how things went and everything like that. And in all honesty, so much happened from that appointment that I didn't have the brain space to come back and talk about it, and two, it was just so much to take in. Like, it was all while my husband was still deployed. Obviously I still am. I was pregnant at the time, and it was just like so much to deal with that I just didn't really want to like come on and talk about it. But I'm here today to talk about it because, one, I just feel like it'll be handy to almost have this as kind of like a point of reference for like future videos. If like, you know, if I'm talking about Soph in maybe a particular way, it might make it easier for me to just say, you know, like, please go back and watch this video, like it explains things a little bit better, hopefully. And then come back, and if you have any other questions, then obviously I'll answer them. So yeah, so I want it to almost like be like a point of reference, like I say, and I'm hoping, I really am hoping that it can be helpful to someone, because that's all I ever want my content to be. I just want it to be helpful to people, whether that is, you know, you're getting tips on organisation or cleaning or just general mum and military life and all of those sorts of things. So I just, yeah, I hope this can be helpful maybe to someone, maybe not right now, maybe not, you know, in the next couple of weeks, but like in years to come, like, you know, maybe someone will stumble across this video and find it helpful. So yeah, anyway, let's backtrack slightly. Oh, speak of the devil, and she'll start stirring. I'm gonna go get her in a minute. I will include her obviously in this video, but I'm gonna kind of backtrack a little bit. So obviously I explained quite a lot in the toddler update that I was on about just now, about like our concerns surrounding Sophia's development and things, and that we were due to see the paediatrician. So I'm going to kind of start there because that's just kind of, it makes sense. So we went in, and basically she was amazing for a start. She was so thorough, and genuinely it was the first time, I don't want to get emotional in this video, Vicky, stop. It was the first time in all of this, because it has been a journey. It's the first time I felt heard, and like us as a family, it's the first time I felt like someone was listening to me and validating my concerns. And oh my god, I cannot begin to tell you like how amazing that was. Like, I'm not gonna spend this video crying. Bear with me 2 minutes. Right, I'm back, and I have Soph with me now, so if you hear any background noise, that is what's going on. So yeah, so it basically just felt like the first time that someone was genuinely taking my concerns seriously, or our concerns seriously, and it just felt heartbreaking but amazing at the same time. I honestly cannot begin to tell you. And so yeah, so off the back of that appointment, basically, like I say, she was just so thorough. Like, she checked her physically, she asked me so many questions about, you know, like pregnancy and birth and like her development and things like that. Hi baby, you coming up? Yeah, you coming up? Okay. Oh. You say hiya. What? Kiss him. No, you want to get down? Okay. Okay. Sorry, this video is probably going to be a bit all over the place, and I should have put this in a bit earlier. I know this could maybe seem like a lot to be talking about this, and it's why it's taken me so long to even talk about it anyway, because I questioned whether I even should. Like, you know, it's very kind of personal and stuff, but like I said earlier, I want this to hopefully be helpful to someone in the future, and I also kind of would like it to be, I don't know, to kind of like fill the gap almost, because I know a lot of you guys have been like there throughout like everything over the last kind of year or so, and you know, I just feel like I just want to fill the gap kind of thing. Of course we're going to play with Mega Blocks now, so sorry about that. Anyway, where even was I? I don't even know where I'm at anymore, because obviously she's out with me. But yeah, so basically the paediatrician, she was so thorough. She was amazing, absolutely amazing. We have actually seen her before when Sophia was really tiny, like 3 or 4 months. She had really bad reflux, and we'd been referred to a paediatrician, and she was the one that we saw. So I'd seen her before, and I knew she was really good back then, and she was just as amazing this time around. And yeah, so much happened off the back of that appointment. She said that she wanted to do bloods like there and then, just to rule out any kind of anything medical going on. She wanted her to have her eyes tested, she wanted to have hearing checked, she wanted her to have an ultrasound on her tummy because she'd been like chronically constipated for like a year, and been on medication for the best part of that time. And yeah, I can't remember what else she said at the time, but basically a few days later she phoned me and she said that she'd spoken to the paediatric neurologist, who wanted to do an MRI and a lumbar puncture on her. And honestly, the fear in me when she said that, like, I instantly went to just panic, because I was like, what the hell does that mean? Like, I've come in because, you know, we've got concerns around her development, and, you know, you've spoken to a neurologist who wants to do an MRI on her, which, you know, it meant like having to put her to sleep to have this scan done. And I was like, that's a lot, that's invasive. Like, what are they doing it because they think they're looking for something in particular, or are they doing it to rule things out? Or we didn't know what the deal was at all. And as it turns out, it was just to rule anything out, any kind of neurological reason for kind of her delays and things like that. And yeah, so she had the MRI and the lumbar puncture done within literally like a few weeks, because they wanted it done like quick. That was the other thing that obviously panicked us, because we were like, shit, like what does that mean when they want something done that quickly, and given that the waiting list for this sort of thing is months, like it just really panicked us. And like I say, obviously still at this point Joe was away, so I was just completely alone, like being told all this information, but not a lot of information at the same time. Like it was just a bit of a mind fuck. So anyway, she had that done. We had the follow-up with the neurologist like a week after or whatever, and he basically said MRI looks good, from like a neurological point of view, everything looks fine, lumbar puncture was fine. So basically what he said from there was that it didn't seem like it was a neurological concern, and that it was either chromosomal or disorderal. So what I believe that to mean is for it to be a chromosome issue, or for it to be like, you know, ADHD and autism, that kind of disorderal kind of bracket. So we thought, right, okay, so what now? So he basically said there and then at that appointment, he was like, I'm going to phone genetics, I want genetics bloods done, I want all 3 of your bloods done, so Sophia's, mine and my husband's, wanted all of our bloods done, blah blah blah. And he also wanted to do some bloods while we were there as well. So while we were waiting for the cream, literally like the numbing cream stuff for the bloods that we were having done there and then, I literally had a phone call from genetics. And obviously I explained to them, I was like, you know, my husband's out of the country, like, you know, we may not be able to get his bloods done, like I can see if it's a possibility, but I don't know, kind of thing. And yeah, so I was like, but we can obviously have ours done, that's not a problem, blah blah blah. And anyway, so long story short, Joe couldn't have his done where he was deployed. He had to wait until he got back to the UK, but they done obviously our bloods, and eventually obviously when he got back they sent off his as well. And the kind of almost, not conclusion to this video, but like the kind of result that came from all that was that there was a chromosome abnormality. I really feel kind of awkward talking about this because I don't want people to jump on me and just be like, I don't know, like obviously it's just a very personal thing, and I feel kind of, like I say, I kind of feel quite vulnerable talking about it, and I know it's an optional thing for me to talk about it, and I want to, I do want to talk about it. One, from like, you know, like a support point of view, and 2, like I say, to help people in the future. So yeah, so it came back that she had a duplication of one of her chromosomes, which they said either in part or fully, like they don't know, it's still so rare, that they don't have a huge amount of research on it, but that could be explaining some of our concerns surrounding Sophia's development. Yes, that's right. Where are you going? Up and down like a yo-yo, aren't you? Huh? Where's the camera? Where's the camera? It's up there. So yeah, so it came back as that. We had the meeting with genetics a month or so after. Obviously this all happened really, really fast because I'm pregnant, and they wanted to kind of see whether, if it was a chromosomal abnormality, whether whatever it was, if it was anything to do with that, whether that could affect the baby, essentially, like while he's still inside me. And then yeah, so they discovered after doing mine and Joe's bloods that it was de novo. So that essentially means it's new, it's not something that we've got ourselves, like neither of us have this duplication, so neither of us have passed it on to her. It was just a case of dodgy egg, dodgy sperm, or a dodgy like mix of the two kind of thing at the time of conception. So they said because of that it's unlikely that he will have the same thing, so they wouldn't do the amnio, which I didn't want to do anyway because obviously it comes with a lot of risks. But yeah, so, and they've basically said, really, they've said that they won't test him for the same duplication unless he displays any kind of like of the same sorts of things that she did, kind of thing, which hopefully won't happen, but obviously you never know. So yeah, basically I can't even tell you really what that means, what this duplication means, because in every case of it, it's fairly different. It's like quite a broad spectrum of symptoms and things, so there's no one kind of answer to you know, what it can cause and what, you know, there's no, like I say, there's no one size fits all. There's no kind of worst case scenario, this is what will happen in the future, or, you know, there's nothing like that, which obviously does make it rather difficult because there's no, you can't, and I know you don't want to set yourself up for like expecting what's going to happen, but you almost want to have like a rough idea of what might be to come. But there is just, like I say, there isn't any of that because there's not enough research on it, because it is quite a rare duplication. So yeah, you're special, aren't you? Yeah. But some of the things that they do know from their research, obviously in various other children, is that it can cause speech delay and gross motor delay, which are two of the kind of main concerns we had surrounding her development. They said, you know, some of the other things that we've kind of been concerned about could well be explained by this duplication. Obviously, like I say, there's no way of kind of knowing for sure, or it could be that it is something else. They said more than likely she will kind of not struggle as such, but she may need a bit more help when it comes to kind of education and things like that. But obviously it's one of those things that literally cross that bridge when you come to it, kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of all I really have, I think, to say on it all, like that I can think of. Just sitting here, like, I was going to write notes on this, and then I thought, do you know what, like, no, I'm literally going to tell it how it is, what's happened, like how everything's kind of come about and things like that, and things, aren't we? Talk about you. Let's talk about you, baby. So yeah, by all means, if any of you guys have any questions or anything like that, then pop them in a comment down below or DM me on Instagram. I really don't mind. Like, obviously, like I say, I've wanted to kind of talk about the results since we've kind of found out, but there's been a lot of kind of processing involved, a lot of kind of, I don't know, just a lot of brain space taken up by kind of what they've said to us, especially, like I say, kind of being pregnant, because there is just naturally that fear, despite them saying it's unlikely that he'll have it as well, there is just naturally that fear that, you know, he will have the same. And although I wouldn't change her for the world, I really wouldn't. You are gorgeous, aren't you? You're so special. It is difficult. It's extremely difficult day to day, and you know, remember that a lot of what you see on, you know, people's vlogs or Instagrams or whatever is just a snapshot of what someone is going through, whether that's like, you know, like a bad moment or a highlight or whatever. Like, that's not the true extent of, you know, what someone's going through. And yeah, it has been extremely difficult, and it would be even harder, I feel like, to have 2 little beanies. Yes, 2 little beans, with similar kind of issues, I guess, for want of a better word. Right, are we gonna say goodbye and do some playing? I don't know what's going on at this point. She's like, wants to get down, but wants to come back up to where I am. So I'm going to leave you for now. I hope you have found this video helpful maybe. And like I say, if you've got any questions, then by all means, fire away. And I will try my best to answer them. Thank you all so much for your support. I cannot even begin to tell you how grateful I am for the community that I've built, like on here and on Instagram and things like that. The amount of you that have kind of been there through all of these tests and kind of our concerns, and just like moments where I've questioned things. Like, you're all so amazing, and I know a lot of you guys are wondering kind of what's going on and everything else, so I hope this kind of sums it up a little bit. But yeah, anyways, I will speak to you all again very soon. Bye guys. Say bye. Say bye. Bye bye. No. Say no. No, mummy.